Last class we have seen what is fire tube boiler and what is water tube boiler. In this class let us discuss advantages and disadvantages of fire tube boiler and water tube boiler. Let me start with advantages of fire tube boiler. The first advantage is flexible. Flexible in operation, which means for example as we know that it will have a shell. Fire tube boiler, it will have a shell. Inside the shell there will be tubes. Here red color represents tubes, blue color represents shell. As we know that in case of fire tube boiler, flue gases will flow inside the tubes and water is filled partially inside the shell. In steam power plant, the demand of steam it may change. Sometimes it may require more steam generation, sometimes it may require less steam generation. In that point of view, in case of fire tube boiler, since here water is filled inside the shell, it can generate or it can accommodate more amount of steam. Whereas in water tube boiler, what is happening in the water tube boiler? Water is flowing inside the tubes and flue gases flowing inside the shell. So here, since the water is flowing inside the tubes, here steam accommodation is limited. Here also we can increase the steam generation, but when compared to fire tube boiler, here it is less. So in that point of view, fire tube boiler is more flexible. The other advantage is feed water. A failure in the supply of feed water, the damage will not be that serious, which means again if you take the same shell and tube setup, as we don't know that in fire tube boilers, flue gases will flow inside the tubes and water is filled in the shell partially. Suppose there is a failure in the water supply in the shell. What will happen? So even though there is no failure of water supply, it will not damage the shell because flue gases are flowing in the tubes. It won't damage that much boiler. Of course, damage will be there, but since flue gases are flowing in the tubes, the damage will be less. Whereas in water tube boilers, water is flowing inside the tubes and flue gases are flowing inside the shell. So when there is no water supply inside the tubes in the water tube boiler, it will damage the shell because the flue gases are flowing inside the shell. There is no heat transfer between the flue gases and water, so that easily it will damage the boiler. So when compared to fire tube boiler and water tube boiler, fire tube boiler is the less damage. The other type is simple and maintenance free. Less scaling takes place in boiler, which means in case of water tube boiler, water is flowing inside the tubes and flue gases will flow inside the shell. But in case of water tube boiler, it will have number of water tubes inside the shell. So when it passes through the tubes, there will be a formation of scaling. So since it has more tubes, more scale formation will be there in the water tube boiler. But whereas in fire tube boilers, flue gases flowing inside the tubes and water flowing inside the shell. So here water flowing only inside the shell. So here scaling will be less when compared to the water tube boiler. These are the main advantages of the fire tube boiler. Advantages of water tube boiler. The first advantage is safety. As we know that in case of water tube boiler, water will flow inside the tubes and flue gases will flow inside the shell. As you can see here in this figure. So here green color represents tubes through which water is flowing, and this red color represents shell through which flue gases are flowing. Here high pressure steam flowing through the tubes. Because of high pressure, the tubes may burst, it may damage. Even though there is a damage of tubes, since diameters are very small, we can replace the tubes very easily when compared to the shell diameter. Whereas in fire tube boiler, what is happening in the fire tube boiler? Flue gases are flowing inside the tubes. Water is flowing inside the shell. In this case, the high pressure steam is flowing inside the shell. So if there is any burst, the total shell it will burst. Since the diameter of shell is higher when compared to the tubes, replacing the shell is very difficult, and also it is not safety also. So that is the reason why water tube boilers are more safer when compared to the fire tube boilers. The other advantage is large steam generation. So actually water tube boilers are high pressure boilers. Like in case of supercritical thermal power plants, we use water tube boilers because these are high pressure boilers. So since it is a high pressure boiler, it can generate a large amount of steam. The other advantage is easy to fabricate, because here shell is not under pressure. Why? Because in case of water tube boiler, the steam is flowing inside the tubes, so that shell is not under pressure. So easily we can fabricate, and also we can install easily when compared to the fire tube boiler. These are the main advantages of the water tube boiler. Now let us compare fire tube boiler and water tube boiler. In case of fire tube boiler, the pressure is 20 bar, whereas in water tube boiler, the pressure it may up to 200 bar, because water tube boilers are high pressure boilers. The efficiency of fire tube boiler it is around 80 to 85%, whereas in water tube boiler there is a slight increment in the percentage of efficiency, that is 85 to 90%. The other thing is inspection. Inspection is easier in the fire tube boiler, but in case of water tube boiler it is a little difficult, because in water tube boiler there will be a number of tubes, water tubes. So if there is any damage, inspection is very difficult when compared to the fire tube boilers. These are the comparisons between fire tube boiler and water tube boiler. Types of fire tube boilers. Mainly four types: Lancashire boiler, Cornish boiler, Cochrane boiler, and locomotive boiler. Lancashire boiler. It is a type of fire tube boiler. It was invented by William Fairbairn in 1844. It consists of shell because it is a fire tube boiler. You could see here this photograph. This photograph I have taken from the Wikipedia. Actually, this boiler is already used boiler. So this is the shell. It is made up of steel. So it has a two fire tubes. Here you could see these are the fire tubes. Generally, shell diameter is it will be 2 to 3 meter. Diameter of the tubes 0.8 meter to 0.9 meter. The length of the cylinder 7 to 8 meter. So this is the length. This length it would be a 7 to 8 meter. Pressure of the steam in the shell 20 bar. Now let us see working of the Lancashire boiler. Okay. So here you can see. So this is the side view. This is front view. This is top view. Okay. So this is the side view. This view is the front view. From here, top. Okay. When you see from the top, you could see both the tubes, two tubes. From the side, so this is the side view. When you see from the front, since both the tubes are placed parallelly, it looks like a single tube. So this is the front view. Now here in this front view you could see at the front of the fire tube there will be a grate. Here there will be a grate. The function of the grate is here the fuel will burn, that flue gases will enter into the fire tubes. So the grate it looks like this. Actually it will have a some steel rods through which flue gases will enter into the fire tubes. After entering into the fire tube, at the end of the fire tube, the flue gases again it will come back from the bottom of the shell. Here you could see, I will show you. So after passing through the fire tubes, the flue gases, at the end of the shell, they take U-turn and it will come back from the bottom of the shell. This way it will come. After entering into the front of the shell, here you could see in the side view, again they will bifurcated two sides. Okay, that view you can see in the top view. So those gases are flowing at the top and the bottom of the shell. Here the advantage is it will increase the heat transfer. After passing at the front, top and bottom of the shell, both will meet at one point. From that point it will go to the chimney. Okay. Due to the temperature difference between flue gases and water, the water will be converted into the steam. Okay. The other point is here you could see this is the mud collector. As I said, here there will be grate. After fuel burned in the grate, the ash will be collected through the mud collector. The other things, it will be having safety valves. Some accessories is more safety valves, pressure valves will be there. Those things we will discuss in detail when we discuss about boiler mountings and accessories. Now at particular point, let us see working principle of the Lancashire boiler. And one more thing is, here you could see in this figure, here there is a manhole. Through this hole, if there are any repairs and for maintenance purpose, they use this hole. This is called it as a manhole. The efficiency of the Lancashire boiler, it is 65 to 70%. Steam generation rate, this is very important, 800 to kilojoule per hour. Here the circulation of air is natural circulation. Okay. For high steam generation, generally we use Lancashire boiler. This is regarding Lancashire boiler. And one more thing is, the shell is made up of steel. Cornish boiler, it is almost same as a Lancashire boiler. It was invented in 1812 by Richard Trevithick. Almost 200 years back it was invented. This is also a horizontal boiler because the orientation is horizontal, and also stationary because it is placed on the bricks. The main difference between Cornish and Lancashire boiler is, here you could see, here we have only one fire tube boiler, but whereas in Lancashire boiler it was having two fire tubes. The one more difference is, as you can see here, the flue gases after passing through the fire tube, at the end of the fire tube it is bifurcating and passing through the sides. So here you could see it is passing through the sides. But in case of Lancashire boiler, after passing through the fire tube, flue gases were flowing from the bottom. So that is the main difference between Cornish and Lancashire boiler. Okay. Now, as you can see here, the fire tube boiler never placed exactly at the center of the shell, because in the shell they never completely filled with the water. They keep some space. That space is used for steam. So this is the reason why generally fire tube is placed with some offset from the center of the shell. The other things are same. It works same as a Lancashire boiler. It will also have a safety valves, pressure valves, and one more thing is, here you could see there is a manhole. So this is the manhole, like same what we have in the Lancashire boiler. Through this hole, if there is any repair for maintenance purpose, they use this hole. The length of the boiler is here 4 to 7 meter. Diameter of the shell, so this is the shell, it is made up of steel. It is 1.25 to 1.75 meter. Okay. The other important type of fire tube boiler is Pohran boiler. It is also known as a vertical multi-tube boiler because, as you can see this photograph, so the orientation is vertical, so it is called it as a vertical multi-tube boiler. Here the diameter is 1 to 2 meter. Height of the shell is 3 to 6 meter. Pressure it can be up to 20 bar. Here diameter and height they may vary depending on requirement of steam. Now as you can see here in this picture, so this is the coherent boiler. At the top there will be a dome shape. Here you can see in the schematic diagram clearly, at the top there is a dome, and inside the boiler at the bottom there is other dome. Here fuel will burn in the grate. After burning, those hot gases will enter into the fire tubes. So these are the tubes. It has several tubes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 tubes. That's why it is also called as a multi-tube boiler. After passing through the tubes, the hot gases will go out through the chimney, through the smoke box. This is smoke box. Here you can see in this picture, this black box is the smoke box. And also the remaining portion is filled with the water. So due to the heat transfer and due to the temperature difference, the water will convert it into steam. That steam will be collected in the dome. Here there is a dome at the top of the boiler, as you can see in this picture also. Here there will be steam. From here we will collect the steam. Okay. This is regarding coherent boiler. The one more thing is, for example, if we need superheated steam, in that case what we do, after collecting the steam from the dome, that steam again we will send to the hot gases, so that heat will be converted into the superheated steam. The same setup will be not only in coherent boiler, in other boilers also you can find. The last type of fire tube boiler I would like to discuss is locomotive boiler. As you can see in this figure, here the boiler is the horizontal, so it is a horizontal type boiler. In the bottom figure you could see it is very old type locomotive boiler. Here it has very big space for burning the fuel. Here fuel will burn. After burning the fuel, those hot gases will enter into the fire tubes. These are the tubes. The remaining setups is same as other boilers except stack, because the short form of chimney is called stack. Here it does not require chimney, because here locomotive is moving at the speed of around 60 to 50 km per hour, so that it does not require chimney. So through the stack itself the flue gases will go out. Okay, so this is regarding locomotive boiler. In the next class we will discuss about water tube boilers. Thank you.